Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. I am your host. Folks, again today, more members in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogue Room announcing their appointments with their wealth managers, appointments with their banks, their Tier 1 banks. The excitement from our members is overwhelming in a very good way. It is an honor for Wiley, myself, the tribe, Goldilocks, all of us to be in a community where our members are literally set up at the banks, their wealth strategies created and coordinated with their wealth managers, and the peace that our members have, that there's no guessing when it comes to the RV and being prepared to exchange their currency and then also grow their wealth. You're more than welcome to click the link at the top of the description and join the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, where many members and mentors, leaders in the community who have already gotten to the point where they are completely set for their exchange and they're willing to help you at no cost. You can click the link, join us for free. We wrap our arms around you with love. We will help you on your journey. Now let's get into this huge, although probably some may have missed it in Dinar land quietly, but this is huge what Goldilocks is sharing about the funding for the RV that has been approved. Let's jump into it. Goldilocks is sharing that liquidity or money, the cash flow for the digital economy has been approved. I'm going to rephrase that so that you may understand a little better. The money for the new digital asset banking system has been approved. The liquidity for the new digital asset banking system has been approved. The money for the new banking system needed for the RV has just been approved. I wanted to say it maybe in 5, 6, many different ways, just in case if someone needed some clarity. So let's break this down. Now, many of you are aware of the Basel Committee. You heard of Basel III, which you know is the gold standard that our banks are compliant with, whereby gold, physical gold, will be in the reserves to back our banking system in the event of a crash. And again, of course, Basel III was created as a result of 2008 bank crash as a crisis that would enable our banking system to be protected in the event of a crash. That's the Basel III Committee. This is the gold standard that for large banks, October the 1st last year, they became compliant. All the banks in the United States are compliant with Basel III. Iraq compliant with Basel III. Vietnam, Basel III. Now the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, they met on March the 12th and the 13th, a few days ago. All of the initiatives discussed on that day were significant to the new banking system, the new digital banking system. But the Basel III initiative is the one that affects us as currency holders. It's called the net stable funding ratio. The net stable funding ratio. See, I mentioned to you all before that in the finance word, terminology means everything. It's very basic, to believe it or not. So the net stable funding ratio is connected to foreign currency exchange. Remember, this is on the Basel Committee that approved the funding on the 12th and the 13th. The net stable funding ratio considers the liquidity or the money characteristics of assets and liabilities, including those related to foreign currency. And its responsibility is to assess a bank's ability to meet its funding needs over a 1-year period. I'll explain. What this does, it now requires a bank to meet the funding requirements for at least a year, basically having enough money in the banking system to fund currency exchanges at least for a minimum of 1-year period of time. So just think of a big pot of money. Think of in your kitchen. Let's think of a piggy bank. And you throw all these coins, you throw all of these loose change in this piggy bank that you have. The banks now was approved to have enough money in their piggy banks to last for at least a year minimum required for foreign currency exchanges. The net stable funding ratio considers the liquidity characteristics of assets such as gold and other liabilities, including those related to foreign currency. On the Saturday night dialogues call, we're going to go into more depth about this. But as part of the regulatory consistency program, the Basel Committee, which is the implementation of this funding, they reviewed and approved the assessment reports on the implementation of the net stable funding. I'll reword it as the RV funding ratio. This report will be published next month in April. The net stable funding ratio is a liquidity standard, a money standard, a big old bank, piggy bank currency exchange standard that requires banks to maintain a stable funding profile to cover their long-term assets, ensuring they don't rely too heavily on their short term. So basically this is long-term funding that they are pumping the money into the banking system, inclusive of gold. Remember, Basel III is the gold standard. They're pumping this into the banking system. The purpose of this fund, this net stable fund ratio, it reduces the risk on banks, so that if there is a funding shortfall, let's say a money shortfall, that they're able to maintain their stability of funds in the bank to do what? Protect the banking system, which protects our wealth. We are going to go into more depth about this on the Saturday Night Dialogue call. But ladies and gentlemen, the banks are now approved of funding for the RV and our currencies moving forward in the new digital asset banking system. Congratulations to all of the currency holders. It is getting better every day. Stay tuned, stay grounded, stay in love. Beautiful people, click the link at the top of the description. Join us. Time is ticking. If you haven't begun to establish your relationships with the banks and the wealth managers, you're going to be left behind. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.